morning, everyone, graduates, family, friends, and soldiers. I'm First Sergeant Wallace, the First Sergeant of the Chinook Maintenance Company, and it's an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate the graduation of our newest 15 U's. Today marks the end of a chapter and the start of another one. As you step into the roles that will keep Army Aviation mission ready day in and day out. To the families, thank you. I know your support didn't start the day that they shipped to basic. It started long before. When you encouraged them to serve, stood by them through long calls, and reminded them who they are when things got hard. This journey is not just theirs, it's yours as well. And today is your day to celebrate as much as theirs. Today, the graduates who chose to serve in a time when comfort and convenience are easy choices, you chose something harder and better. You've pushed through early mornings, cold nights in the field, and drill sergeants who somehow never lost their voices. You've learned to turn wrenches with precision, read manuals like your life depended on it, because honestly, someday it might, and keep your aircraft and your people flying safe. Now you are headed to your units across the Army, where the work gets more real and the stakes get higher, and yes, the acronyms get even worse. But here's the thing, you are ready. More than that, you are needed. Never forget that your job keeps the mission moving. No Chinook ever took off without a maintainer making it happen, and that's the truth. To the families, in just a moment, the graduates will come up on stage row by row and receive their graduation certificates. Following receipt of their certificates, the graduates will line up in front on the stage for the pinning of their wings. We invite you to come forward and take as many photos and take as much time as you need to pin the wings on your soldiers. Finally, I would like to call the Distinguished Honor Grad, Specialist Lewis, up to the front to receive a brigade coin on behalf of Colonel Morshed, our brigade commander. This student had the highest GPA in their class and no negative counselings. They excelled in all aspects of military performance during the time in advanced training. Please join me in a round of applause.
At this time, we would like to recognize all veterans in attendance and watching online. Thank you for your selfless service and sacrifice in the defense of our nation. Distinguished guests, family members, and friends, on behalf of the 128th Aviation Brigade Command Team, welcome to today's graduation ceremony for 15 Uniform CH-47 Helicopter Repairer, Class 2225. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Chaplain Coltrane and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Good day to all. I invite you to pray in your faith tradition as I pray in mine. Let us pray. Holy God, on this day, I pray your blessings on the leadership, the trainers, the cadre, the drill sergeants, the graduates, and their families. I pray that their dedicated efforts increase the readiness and capabilities of our ranks. As the newest members of the aviation family receive their wings today, may these soldiers stay motivated and inspired as they support and defend freedom and our country. As always, I ask you to keep us and help us to complete our mission with excellence. In your holy name, amen.
Please be seated. Army aviation maintenance training began at Fort Eustis, Virginia in 1954. Since its beginning, Fort Eustis has continued a legacy of maintenance training excellence, training active duty, National Guard, and Army Reserve soldiers, along with Air Force personnel and international partners. With a lineage that dates back to Operation Just Cause in Panama, the Army redesignated the United States Army Aviation Logistics School as the 128th Aviation Brigade on February 1st, 2012. Today, the 128th Aviation Brigade trains over 5,500 soldiers annually in every Army aviation helicopter specialty. A 15-uniform cargo helicopter repairer is primarily responsible for the overall maintenance of the CH-47 Chinook helicopter. They perform tasks such as the removal and installation of aircraft subsystem assemblies. These include engines, rotors, gearboxes, transmissions, and mechanical flight controls. They also perform services, inspections, repairs, maintenance checks, and diagnose troubleshoot faults for all aircraft components. The guest speaker for today's ceremony is Staff Sergeant Grant Welsh. Staff Sergeant Welsh enlisted in the U.S. Army in 2014 as a 15-uniform Chinook helicopter repairer and is currently serving an instructor with Alpha Company, 2nd Battalion, 210th Aviation Regiment. Please refer to Staff Sergeant Welsh's biography in your program to learn more about their selfless service to our nation. Please join us in giving a warm welcome to Staff Sergeant Grant Welsh.
Thank you. Good morning. Distinguished guests, family members, and friends, your support and dedication to these soldiers has greatly impacted their success through these trying times. I'd like to thank Class 2225 for asking me to speak today. I'm sure they're tired of hearing me speak, but here we are. Congratulations. You've all successfully completed the 15-uniform CH-47 Fox repair course and are off to start your journeys as the newest members of the Army Aviation family. It's hard to believe that you're the same group of soldiers that came to the schoolhouse for the first time 17 weeks ago. 17 weeks. That's all it took to turn you into certified Army aviation mechanics. Mechanics on the best helicopter in the Army, no less. While we can teach you the basics of Army aviation maintenance, you will have to learn the harder lessons on your own, such as when to say yes and how to say no when the time is right. How to approach your peers, leaders, and eventually your subordinates with issues and corrections even when it's hard. And how to handle relationships with others when you don't quite get along. While you're now capable of fixing the Chinook to the standard, your learning does not stop here. In fact, it's only the beginning. As you embark on your journeys either to your first duty station or back home to your guard unit or to your reserve unit to figure out what's next, think about how much you've learned in the last 17 weeks. Now think about how much more you can learn in the next 17 weeks, and then 17 months, and finally, in 17 years when you're approaching the end of your military careers, think about how much you could learn if you keep the same attitudes that you've had throughout the course. It's scary to think about how knowledgeable and skilled you'll become. But even when you think that you've learned everything there is to know, as leaders and NCOs yourself, your new soldiers will surprise you by showing you just how much there is left to learn. Just like you've all taught me and the other instructors while you were here. Do yourselves a favor and never be afraid to learn from those whom you are teaching. We all have so much left to learn, from the newest private to the sergeant major of the Army. The best thing to do is to stay humble and be willing to learn from those who are willing to teach. The last bit of advice I will leave you is that it goes by fast. So make the most of the time you have, because it will be nothing more than memories before you know it. Above the best, born under fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that we now represent the diplomas to the graduates. Please feel free to move around and take photos throughout the presentation. The distinguished graduate is that soldier who received the highest marks throughout the course. These graduates are selected on academic standing, leadership, physical fitness, and discipline. The distinguished graduate will receive a certificate of achievement from the 128th Aviation Brigade and a brigade coin. The distinguished graduate for 15 Uniform Cargo Helicopter Repair Class 2225 is Specialist Keatron Lewis. Specialist Keatron Lewis is from Jacksonville, Florida, and will be assigned to the 111th Combat Aviation Brigade, Florida National Guard. Sergeant VJ Ginalone. Sergeant VJ Ginalone is from Wichita, Kansas, and will be assigned to the 11th Expeditionary Combat Aviation Brigade, Kansas. Specialist Michael Burgoyne. Specialist Michael Burgoyne is from Mesa, Arizona, and will be assigned to the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, Fort Lewis, Washington. Specialist Jaden DeRosa. Specialist Jaden DeRosa is from Great Falls, Montana, and will be assigned to the 189th Combat Aviation Brigade, Montana National Guard. Specialist Madison Drake. Specialist Madison Drake is from Summitville, Indiana, and will be assigned to the 82nd Combat Aviation Brigade, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Specialist Joshua Duncan. Specialist Joshua Duncan is from Oak Grove, Kentucky, and will be assigned to the 101st Combat Aviation Brigade, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Family members and guests selected for pinning, please come forward now to honor our graduates as they prepare to take the next step in their Army aviation careers. Please be seated. Specialist Christopher Ferner. Specialist Christopher Ferner is from Parkersburg, West Virginia, and will be assigned to the 12th Combat Aviation Brigade, Kalterbach, Germany. Specialist Dean Shanks. Specialist Dean Shanks is from Stockton, California, and will be assigned to the 40th Combat Aviation Brigade, California National Guard. Specialist Tyke Vick. Specialist Tyke Vick is from Port St. Lucie, Florida, and will be assigned to the 12th Combat Aviation Brigade, Kauterbach, Germany. Private First Class Christian King. Private First Class Christian King is from Winter Park, Florida, and will be assigned to the 111th Combat Aviation Brigade, Florida National Guard. Private First Class Sabash Pantai. Private First Class Sabash Pantai is from Campbell, California, and will be assigned to the 40th Combat Aviation Brigade, California National Guard. Private First Class James Shoemake. Private First Class James Shoemake is from Honolulu, Hawaii, and will be assigned to the 183rd Combat Aviation Brigade, Hawaii National Guard. Family members and guests selected for pinning, please come forward now to honor our graduates as they prepare to take their next step in their Army aviation careers. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the newest members of the Army Aviation family. We now turn to a special part of our ceremony. The distinguished graduate will present a token of appreciation to Staff Sergeant Grant Welsh. This symbolizes our sincere gratitude for their presence and the wisdom they have imparted. Their words today may not have only enlightened us, but have also added a meaningful dimension to this important milestone in our graduate's journey. The team of non-commissioned officers and instructors who trained and mentored the graduates are assigned to the 1st Battalion, 222nd Aviation Regiment, and 2nd Battalion, 210th Aviation Regiment. Together, this outstanding team instructed your soldiers in discipline, physical fitness, warrior tasks and battle drills, and fundamental aviation maintenance practices. They led and mentored America's sons and daughters that one day they too may become a non-commissioned officer. The drill sergeant and instructor for today's graduating classes are Drill Sergeant Ashley Santos and Staff Sergeant Eric Schrog. Please join us in giving a round of applause to these outstanding drill sergeants and instructors. Please rise for the playing of the Aviation Song and the Army Song. We ask that all soldiers in uniform remain standing and join us in reciting the Aviation Mechanics Creed and Soldier's Creed. Family and friends, please be seated.
The Aviation Mechanics Creed! The Aviation Mechanics Creed! Upon my honor, I swear that I shall hold in sacred trust the rights and privileges conferred upon me as a graduate mechanic, knowing full well that the safety and lives of others are dependent upon my skill and judgment. I shall never knowingly subject others to risk, which I will not be willing to assume for myself, or those near to me. Above the best! The Soldier's Creed! The Soldier's Creed! I am an American soldier. I am a warrior member of the team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I will always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I'm a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I am guarding freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier!
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's graduation ceremony. Please come forward to congratulate your soldiers and take photographs. Thank you for attending. Above the best, born under fire.